The first is the first. I'm not sure what to do. The first three are the winners of the competition. But there is no denying that. This year's competition, they released several players who changed their wheels. The overall depth has been weakened. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing. AJ, Kassan and others. The risk of disappearance. The same time, the three main stars of the contract. The new rules will come into effect soon. The new capital dividend is coming to an end. So, what is the meaning of this? Some fans are more pessimistic. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do it. The team is about to leave, the most popular candidate for the title, even if they still have SJ. What is the meaning of this? What exactly did Thunder experience during this rebuilding season? The situation will be the same. How serious is it? Let's talk about it today. The Thunderbolt is clearly retreating. Last season's final, after the match, Matt was sent to that. The thunderstorm was not as many people thought it would be. How to make 1,000 golds. The opposite is true. They even made a few more. The decision was surprising. The first time the company was founded in the United States, it was in the United States. The third trade. The first comparison. Iron Wiggins is sent to the Eagle. The 2 rounds were replaced by a double round. The second comparison. The first is to send the Piston to the factory. The same goes for 2 rounds. Even SJ Sword. The Guardian also failed to believe. The third step is to. The first 3 days of the trade. Dort is sent to the Eagle. The 3-round draw was returned. The 3 have one thing in common. This is the first time. The Storm has not returned any of the assets of the POWs. The deal is a big deal and it's a big deal. Many fans may turn to misunderstandings. Why do teams get together and move away from each other? The main change of members? The reason is simple. Presti is starting to think about the future. The sexes are under stress. In fact, it is. The team of the last few years. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. The end is not the end. The problem is that. How did you win the game? How can you do this? Sjardik. The core members of the group. The same is true of the Golden Age. The current agreement on wages. They all gave up some of their money. Major players change. The military has lost its ability to fight the conventional forces. What is the next step? Following J-Dub. The first is the Cat nuclear barrel. The same problem was experienced by Thunder. This is why we are here. Presti is the trade wave. It's more like a conspiracy. The game is a free-to-play game for the Raiders. They are reinforcing. The report was published in the journal Nature. 2 years of $12 million in the hands of Spencer Jones. I'm tired of being alone. This is a great opportunity for you. The government has already announced that it will pay a huge tax on luxury goods. The attackers were not even able to reach the border. But depending on, the Thunderbolt itself didn't hit anyone. The power is not increased. This is true. They are coming. The thunderstorm is the next big thing. The first is that the world is not a place for the rich. We all know. The show is a huge success. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. The first is the Cold War and the second is the Cold War. The Cries of the Ashes. The first is the Grey Wolf and Lamelo. These are the main opponents of Thunder. I'm not sure what I'm saying. The thunderstorm is a more terrible enemy. Maybe they were themselves. Many people think the youngsters have more choice. The future is going to be a lot of money. But is it really good for young people? It's not clear. Youth is about growth and potential. The new deal will be a big deal for the future. The next season, the new fund for SGAJ.DJDJD Hartenstein is the total of the new funds. More than $150 million has been raised. So at the same time, Kassan and AJ will also face challenges with renewal. The new investment pressure continues to increase. The thunderstorms left 2 at the same time as the storm. And these 2. The last season of the Thunder. The most important change of youth. This means, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my life. The thunderstorm is still possible. The first is the Sultino campaign. This is a deep landing. The difficulty of disputes is increasing. The first is that the country is not a democracy. The Lightning has a choice. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep the momentum of the current opposition. The first is to get rid of the money. I'm not sure. What is the problem? The new generation is not just about training new people. The question is whether we can stay. New people who have already shown their leading voices. What is more frightening is that, we said, the most terrible enemy of thunderstorms is itself. The first is that the app is not just a seller's app, but also a seller's app. New capital stress is just the first problem. The same cannot be said for the tests themselves. The last 2 seasons of the regular season, SGA has proven itself to be a The core of the team is the one side. The team is also the top 3 playoff stars in the league. This is a breakthrough. The average distance between stability and food purchasing capacity. It is the first in the league to be established. So the problem is, the game is over. Is the SGA or is it unopposed? The answer is obviously no. 25 years in the fastest series of the season. The 26th annual drama final and the mats. SGA is stuck with opponents for him. Protecting the special areas. Reducing the price of the inline ticket. This year's final of the drama. SGA detects every breakthrough. I'm not sure what happened to the 3 of us. In this case, the speed of the game is not ideal. After the ball was passed. The first is that the government has not given a good chance. The last match of the season. The SGA's third hit rate is only 35%. The idea of using extra sound projection to solve the problem is not realistic. The first is the City of Peace. SGA has not yet found the best solution. This is true even before the SGA. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. The team's other core members. The problem is that the people are not happy. Shame is the core of the team's defense. But it looks like he is not able to maintain efficiency on both sides of the fence. The final of the drama. He even meant that he got 4 points. The health of J.D. Hartenstein is also worrisome. The number of people who have been affected by the virus has increased over the years. JDB will not only be responsible for the transfer and the receiving end of the ball, he has been a part of the defense for several positions. The SGA is also helping to lose the right to play. He was born in the city of San Francisco, California. However, the cost of the building is huge. Last season, he was a bit of a jerk. JDB is still healthy. The lightning will be turned on. If JD falls down, the whole set of thunderbolts needs to be replaced. Hartenstein also suffered injuries last season. His ability to drink blueboard. The quality of the food. The first is the thunderstorm, which is a major component of the thunder system. This set of thunderstorms, the foundation of a private organization team. If 2 of them can't stay healthy, the whole system. The country is a very small country. SGA will also be bringing pressurized transmitters. The main framework. The health of the newly formed factions is also worrisome. The first season. The first is the story of the first woman to be killed. The game was played in a total of 84 matches. I hope they have a fake plan. The only thing that is going to be a fire is the top. The next season, Kassan is likely to replace Dord as the frontman. The team is in the first few sections. The first time I saw a video of a woman who was pregnant with a child, I was surprised to learn that she was pregnant with a child. The 2 weeks in the playoffs. The results were not bad. In previous videos, we have mentioned, Macinch has saved several times in the final of the drama. AJ's ability to attack also helped the SGA. The government has been trying to relieve the pressure. The problem is that the first 2 people. It is also worrying. Macinch in the Senate season. The first was a violent attack on the knee due to a torn kneecap. The following initial situation. The world is still watching. The team is not going to be able to keep up with the pace of the game. He may want to appear more. The police are in a position to protect the people. This is a great opportunity for Macinch himself. The first is the tree and the second is the tree. This is a very big test. What about AJ? He has played for the national team for 2 seasons. The number of people who fought in the war was not more than 60. The next race is goods. The first is the Tree of the Moon. The last 2 years. The depth of the Thunderbolt. The first is to help them win many competitions. This is a blood transfusion. The team will be able to use the logic of the previous game next season. Anubis over the usual race. I'm afraid I'll have to ask a question again. What is more important is that Thunder has made at least 2 consecutive seasons of the drama finale. The number of opponents is increasing. The contest will focus on the division of their competition. For example, the SGA is restricted by regional defense. More LEDs. The high-level thunderstorm was dismantled. How to solve these problems? This is a great way to get rid of the horse and train it. Some fans might say, the first is the sweetness. The Thunderbolts are not the only thing that is missing. The first is the election. The new government is also expected to continue to support the fight. This is true. This year's Athletes Conference, they were eliminated in 12th place. The first is the newest in Michigan. The deal with Genghis Khan. The first of the 6 wins came for Sturds, who finished in 2nd place. The first time I saw a video of the band's performance was last year's Saber. The first is the first in a series of 3 books. Many fans think that Mira is seen as a thunderstorm, the weapon used against the text Yama. The Sturds, The first is the Presti plane, which was released after the attack. But it's not that simple. The story of the first woman to be killed in the war is told by Weissman Kuminka, the newest and most successful players in the world. It's hard to keep two lines parallel. Mira is 221 cm tall. The first is the greatest day of the world. The contest is open to all. His mobility, the power of the body is not on the ground. The first is to ensure that other technologies work properly. This is just a link below. The NBA is now in its final season of competition. It's hard to believe. He is a better hitter than Hardenstein. I'm not sure what the answer is. Mira's mobility. The Yama armor is a new technology that has been developed to help people with disabilities. The same is true of the people. The defense system of Thunderbolts does not exclude replacement. Mira before the 8-yard meet. First, fear of being tested for the top spot in the league. He is currently in his 30s. It's hard to stay in the stadium for too long. The sturds are still stable enough below. Projecting levels and playing IQ. The most important thing about thunderstorms. However, after Kassan and making sturds in the long race, the question is whether we can get a stable time and a position. The situation of the Thunder Brigade is real. Mira and Sturd's biggest trials. The first time I saw the video was in the video, and I was surprised to learn that it was a good idea. For the birds of the lotto and the hand broken, the time to attend is still very important. The two young people are in the future, maybe a chance to be a team's asset. But at least next season, it's hard to expect them to hit the postseason. The first is to get in touch with the people and contribute to the change. I'm glad to say so much. The first time I saw the Lightning, I was in the middle of a storm. So next season, do they really want to be removed from the top league? I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get back to my answer. But the situation is not particularly bad. The last 3 seasons of regular season, SGA is starting to stand. The team has been able to improve their pitching and shooting skills. We have reason to believe. SGA, 28, is a young woman. The last of the two is the final form, 2.23 season. The third of his hits was 34.5%. The level of 9 goals per game. But next season, he has a shooting rate of 38.6% per game. The number of people who received the news was 1.73%. He was a regular in the team that won the World Cup last season. But if he goes further next season, he will be able to make a difference. The first time the team has played in the playoffs, it's the first time they've played in the playoffs. He explained his personal attack. The first is that the military is not going to be able to keep up with the demands of the people. I'm not sure if the SGA can produce at a rate of 1/3. The team is looking for a new team member. Continue to make progress. The threat of the attack. The first is the Circle of the Sun. The story is about a young boy who is coming back. Football is never about one person. The campaign is organized. The SGA is still evolving into the Great Demon King. The Thunderstorm also needs more people to play a role. I think it's the same as the previous one. SGA has been in the top spot in regular season races for several seasons. The cost of the race is huge. The Thunderstorms are in compliance with the management. How to respond? The same goes for J-Dub and Chad. The government has also been pushing for more improvements. The SGA is trying to reduce stress. More help. This is the only way. The team can use more energy. The reality is that the prize is a prize. Technology by J-Dub and Chad. The first is the battle of the sexes. The team's defensive value is not lacking. If you want to make new breakthroughs, the difficulty is still great. Where Thunder is more likely to raise. The first is to create more space. Help the SGA and other players. The first is to reduce space pressure on the pitch. This is probably their most realistic plan. I'm not sure. This is an analysis of the current situation of thunderstorms. After the forced mobilization of the opposition, the lightning strike remains the youngest stable framework in the Union. The railway triangle of Gajdub-Chad. The 3-piece band is still one of the best in the drama. The team's only goal is to get the best possible results. The first 2 drugs are the same as the first 2, and the second is the first. The world is still watching. If you have to choose, it's up to me if I can put the Thunder in the first 2. The first 3 positions of the Union. I'm just going to be sure of it. The price of the product is $1.50 per month. This is why. The video is about the first day of the week. The team is the first to be eliminated from the league. The situation is not so bad. The first time the team has played in the tournament, it has been a long time since the first tournament was held in the country. The 2nd April is a new year for the team. What is more? I'm not sure. The team won the championship in the first round of the tournament. It's really hard. You're not over the top. I'm not sure if you can stay there. You see? The Abbey of the Mummies is on the top of the hill of life,